get started. There's NASDAQ. We just went positive. Yeah, we broke out of that, so we're going to correct that. So we could come up, we might come all the way up here, 23,804. We already touched the 200 there. I don't think we touch it there, but I think we might come up here. 23.7, that would be a big move. Yeah, that would screw over a lot of people. But I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the market is that bullish. Although I just saw that oil opened up sharply down in Asia. I don't know if that's because of the proposed lockdowns or what. That's strange to me. VIX looks like it's rolling over. Probably come down here 27.50. What do we got on the 4 hour? Yeah. We're just outside the Bollinger, I think, is all. So it's just relaxing. Let's look at oil. Because that's what's going to matter. This is really the only thing that matters now. And we broke the cup. We should be coming down here for a handle. Break below 100, get to 98 or so, and then we should start heading back up again. Again, we just broke out of this 100 range. So it's just testing that 100 range, and it's getting to stay above it, which is a problem. Overall, see, we're just outside the Bollingers. So it's just meandering back in. And we just came down, touched my trend. So we could come back up, touch this other trend line here, which is, yeah, about where I thought. 23, no, that's a little lower, 23.6. I like that idea. And then coming down. I thought we would have a bigger down day today, and we still might. It's still very, very early pre-market. And this going up is all pre-market. So we could start coming down drastically. But I think we get a bounce this week. And then I think what that bounce turns into is going to make, is going to show what kind of market we have going forward. Because it's a bear market. I mean, we're correcting from April at least. But because we've broken the monthly trend, we could be correcting a lot more. We just have to see where we come up to on this bounce and then how it drops. Because this has a very COVID type feel to it. It's very odd. See how far down we're going? I mean, there's nothing here. And I think, yeah, this is going to be, I think we're going to drop, and then where we drop to and how we bounce is going to show what this market is. I think we get a little bounce early and then drop. And then I think we get it, because I think we drop. I think the market ends up, here I'll go. I'll just go to the Qs. There's no good stopping point for the market, because we're at this support range. But below that, I mean, this is all thin. So I could see us dropping to 530, or I could see us even dropping down here to 470, 480. And that would still just correct this portion from April. It could get, if we get a failed bounce, like a bad failed bounce, then we could crash. I mean, this could be a crash type crash. But we'll know that off this bounce this week, I think. This was controlled selling. See, we still haven't had panic. And you can tell because VIX still hasn't spiked. So we still haven't had panic. The market is still complacent and lazy. And so it'll keep going up until it gets just severely punished. And this looks like, see these candles here, that looks like panic. But then when you go to the hourly, that's much too orderly. That's much too orderly. I mean, that's just a straight line. That's much too orderly. You want to see big drops, big waterfall drops like that. But then see how we just bounced up and then dropped and bounced up and dropped and bounced up. You want to see a huge drop. That's what I'm waiting to see. Let's take a look at gold. Gold did not touch the 200. But did we bottom? There's a divergence on the 4-hour. 1, 2, 3. So far, it's only 3. But that could have bottomed. Gold may have bottomed there. at least for a bounce, but I don't. Yeah, I'm still keeping that as a maybe. That very much could spike back up, but that could drop down again. Probably not very far, say 77 or so, and then rally. See, I think it'll do what this REMX did. I think it'll make that kind of move. REMX is very much in the middle too. Jeez, that just looks like a, I don't know. It just looks like somewhere where you should be. This one's interesting. This is metals and mining. Metals, I'm really interested in. If they've bottomed, I want to take a look at some metal stocks because they're taking out manufacturing plants, steel plants, aluminum plants. Yeah, look at aluminum. Aluminum's up. It was up 7% in the futures. VALE may be ready. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I like that. I think VALE's going to break out. I like VALE. Trinium, that looks like the same chart. POSCO, that's different because that is South Korea. Nucor. If that gets above 165.76, then I think that's going to go up. I think these are starting to put in bottoms. After hours, I hate that. After hours. All of these big moves are after hours. It's ridiculous. So I think you probably take that whole thing away again. Now that's during hours, so that's something I like. Probably not yet. All right, here's the one. Cliff. I think we're ready for a bounce in Cliff. I don't know how I feel about it. Look at that divergence on the 4 hour. 2, 3, but you're still only 3. these may squeeze, especially with aluminum making them move like that. A lot of these steel companies may squeeze. I guess we'll know the direction when they do that. I like that. Really? We're not going to work now? Okay. I swear I have an aluminum. Apparently not. Weird. Did I put it in here for some reason? Nope. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at potash chemicals. Yeah, I think we're getting ready to take off and grow. Uh, 390 would be the next. We should start pushing that because I think it wants to start pushing the direction that way. So 390 would be, yeah, it wants to go up there. IPI. One, two, three, four, five. So this is probably the wave one of two. So it'll probably have a pullback here, which goes with what I expect. I expect the market to have to bounce. So that would mean energy and these others have a pullback. Although not at the start. I think these take off at the start of the week. Yeah, I think they take off, start pushing the Bollingers, and then they pull back. And then I think the market rallies. And then I think at the end of the week or next week or sometime, then the rug gets pulled again on the market. Not on commodities. These only go up. Look at those. These things are mad. Look at the mosaic. Look at the mosaic is still way down. It's even down from the others in the sector. I think this is going to fly soon. For whatever reason, why is it getting beat down so bad? Had bad earnings, but not, well, sure doesn't look like that though, does it? You don't even really have divergence. I don't know what to make of this. It just can't get out of its own way. That's why I like IPI, but theoretically, this should go. If it breaks 2236, then it has some sort of other issues. Because then it would have to do a whole new cycle lower. So then you'd probably end up somewhere down here at $10, which doesn't make sense if everything else is going up. So I would think this starts squeezing up pretty soon. If not, then it's got problems. And if it breaks 2236, then it's got real problems. LXU looks fine. This is South American sugar. I'm pretty sure. All right. Oil. Because I think oil's going to have a huge week. To start the week. And then I think we pull back. I think these open up and take off. Look, that's getting ready to squeeze again. Beautiful. So that would be your SLB. Yeah, look, that's gonna break this and just go. Look at BORR go. BORR was down here, it was lagging. That was perfect buy. I was telling everyone BORR was one of the laggards. Oh, I hope some people got that. Okay, PBR. Jeez. Love it. There's absolutely nothing to do with that. Just enjoy the ride. Look at that thing. That is a thing of beauty. I want to see something. Oh, you're fragging kidding me. Yeah. Jeez. And the thing is I think these actually explode early this week. Especially EC. Look, that thing's getting ready to go. That thing's getting ready to go. Yeah, that's going to blow up near 20. Oxy has a great chart. I hate this company, but that chart just looks fantastic. Maybe I should stop hating them because I heard the CEO is actually stepping down, which is hilarious. She's stepping down just when Oxy finally starts taking off. BHP has tons of ties to the Middle East, to the Gulf Coast. Cosmo looks great. Look at that on a weekly. I mean, we've got lots of runway with Cosmo. Lots of runway. This one I think is, yeah, it's just starting to break out. Moo doesn't let you buy this for good reason. It's a tax nightmare. But I have it. Rig, I think, breaks out too. See, it's been trying. It's been slow walking, slow walking, slow walking. I think it finally just gets a boom candle. Boom. And then it relieves the steam. I think there's too much pressure. I think it blows up and then I think it crashes down. I think that happens early this week. And I could be backwards. We could crash down early, like Monday, Tuesday, and then blow up. I just don't think so. I think it's the opposite. But either way, these go up. I mean, you can't find better charts than. I mean, I dare you to find me better charts than these. They don't exist. Yeah, that's getting ready to run too. This this what should have been the run. It was just too early. They never reward. Well, you were rewarded, but you should have taken profit and then come back down and go it again. But yeah, this just blew way outside the Bollinger way too fast. But that's where this is going. This should go to 4. Now we've got the Bollinger pointing that way. Yeah. These all just look great, and they all look like they're going to push higher, break out more. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. This is Canadian Baytex Energy. I just want to show this because Canada is going to break out versus the United States. So this is going to be a huge move. Canadian stocks should get huge bids, I would expect. Look, your RSI is just starting to break out. That's what I mean. I think these are going to have huge moves because your RSI is just breaking out, and look how extended you are. This is going to be ridiculous. It's going to take people by surprise because there's a lot of institutional shorts and things like these. And I think they're going to get ripped apart. Especially because, I mean, think about it. Oil just jumped, their base product just jumped 30% and has no signs of dropping now. So the fundamental dynamics that everyone perceived around these companies just changed at the flip of a switch. So all that investment is going to come rushing into these. And I think that's what this week is. I think over the weekend, they all decided that they need oil, and I think they're going to pile into it early this week. That's just kind of my hunch. These don't look... Lightbridge on the weekly, though? No, it does not. See, on my system, I have a divergence on the weekly, but this does not. There's not even a divergence on the daily. So I think these all have more drop in them. I think all the uranium has more drop. Yeah, I'd like to see it drop down to 43 or so. Yeah. That's what I would like to see. Just another drop and then come back up. Yeah, just one more drop and then come back up. But I think these are getting close. Now, if these hold and just rip up, then they've put in a bottom. I just don't think so. It doesn't look clean enough to me. Jeez, look at that candle. Oh, look at that. See, this is why you're breaking out. You've been consolidating since 2008 in this flat, and now you're just breaking out of the flat. And if you drew your downtrend, you would have had your breakout. Could have gotten this at 47. But that's on a grand super cycle. That's a 1, 2, 3. This is your 4. And now you're in a 5. Unless you did a 5, corrected, this was your 4. This was a series of 1, 2s. And now you're breaking out in a triangle. But I think that's a 4-wave triangle. But yeah, whatever it is, that's nonsense. Because you're breaking out of this colossal flat since 2008. So you're going to have a huge move. Probably get to 70 something before you pull back. 74 or so. Okay. All right. Now futures is breaking up, so it should get up to that. Looks like it should get up to, we'll probably get up in here, 23.8. Where's that trend line? 23.6. Where's 23.8? Up here. VIX coming down. And oil holding. But again, it's just because we're outside the Bollinger so far. So I think we bounce up. And then I think we bounce down. And I have around 535 Monday or Tuesday. I think we hit the bottom probably Tuesday and turn around. Here's your 535. That's back where this cluster is. Jeez. Back where this cluster is. So I think we get our bounce through this. And then come down, and then we get our real bounce. This is a lot of support, but we just cut right through it. That's why it's funny that we're just bouncing now, because we completely cut through it on Friday. That's one I wanted to look at too, because I don't know where the future of this would be. We've still got the low way back here. It's looking like it's putting in a bottom. This almost looks like a leading diagonal, but then this isn't anything that I can tell. Hi, crazies. Hi. My dogs just came in. This looks like it definitely wants to drop. But on a longer chart, it looks okay. And I don't know why they would be buying it. I can't figure out where it fits in this cycle. But it's at I mean, it's at that 188 range. Yeah, this one I just have to keep holding against 125, 126. But I don't look out. This looks like it wants to break out. I mean, this is crazy. And I can't, yeah, like I said, I don't know where this would fit in the cycle, but because a lot of that 3D printing stuff, I mean, that's all petroleum based, the resins and things. So I don't get this. And it hasn't broken out. It's still down. But on a longer trend, it still looks pretty good. So triple D is just one of those weird ones where on a long time frame, it looks great. This looks like a one. Well, did we break that? Yeah, we did break this low. So this isn't a 1-2 anymore. This is just this will probably bleed down closer to that 125. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll get some spikes in there too. But yeah, I think this just continues to bleed down now that I see that. So if the market holds up and we do get a wave 5, another bullish run out of the market, then this I think would have a good run. And this still could get a good run, but for now it's just going to bleed down. Everything holding up okay. I wanted to look at crypto. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because this is, to me, this is broken down already. When we broke here, this broke down. So I think this is just coming back up and then rolling down again. Yeah, I think you stay below this line. I think you come up here maybe as high as 68.6, and then you roll over again. So I think they're just giving the market a good after hours pump. Yeah, Hang Seng rolled over already. I'm actually surprised they're holding up as well as they are. This is the one that I'm watching. It has bullish divergence, so I think that's why they're buying it, but I think it's a trap. I think it's going to roll over hard. But again, I might be backwards. We might get a rally for a couple of days and then have it fall apart. Yeah, I think these are all just getting a bounce. That should go to 46.06. Yep, should bounce. Yeah, we'll see where we are closer to market open. But going just fine. Still like energy, food. That's what I wanted to look at. Corn. Ooh, I think we're going to break out here. Yeah, I think we're getting ready to break out in corn. And wheat. Not coffee. I think that's going to come down more. $3.99 again. All right. Again, still looking for VIX to come down. market to go up a little bit, and then closer to open, we'll flip it. That's my guess. I still like energy. Yeah. And that should do it. Overall, the market is in big time trouble. I mean, you can tell by looking at that that's not good, right? And then weekly, what I think happens on this weekly chart is I think we get a lower RSI than April, and I think price remains higher than this. But I do think we sell down to 20,000, maybe 19,000. And that would be on the Qs. That would be like 470, I think. But yeah, I think we get a big sell down before we get a substantial rally. I think we get some little rallies in here, like one this week. But yeah, I think we come way down before we get a substantial rally. All right. That should do it. I believe we're a shortened week, so be careful. When we might finish the selling down, that's tough to say because I think we finish it this week. Like I think this week gets a rally, so at some point it finishes this week. It might be finished now. I mean, this might be the rally. I don't know. I don't think so, but anyways, but there's a bigger drop coming. This isn't the drop. We still haven't had panic. VIX still hasn't spiked. In fact, having a 7% VIX when the indices are all down 2% is silly. And 2% for the second day in a row, and VIX is still only up 7%. That's just crazy. But yeah, what I was hoping for was like a down 3 or 4% today and get a real good VIX spike, because then that would show you that we're getting ready for a bounce. But we haven't had any of that. We haven't had any of that this entire way through. So it just bounces off of air, essentially, which is what makes it go lower, because there's no, each time it bounces off of air, those aren't serious buyers. So they'll just sell at a whim too. So that's why you get these whipsaws, because no one's serious about the market. It's just algorithmic traders. But once the algos turn to not buying because it punishes them, then you'll get panic, because they'll just step away and people will go in to make a trade thinking they're getting a dip buy, and there will be the dip will just keep dipping forever. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people to step in and buy the dip and for it to bottom to fall out from under them. That's the signal I'm waiting for. And we haven't seen that yet. And see how this just keeps, this is maddening because see how it just keeps pushing up, sell down, push up, sell down, push up. And it's, yeah, it just give us these days. Just let it go. But I don't think it can. I think that's the problem. I think too many people are short in big ways, and too many people are hedged on VIX in big ways. That's why I don't think it'll be this week, but I think at some point there's going to be a circuit breaker where they just say you're not getting paid, and them's the rules. All right. Oil still meandering. Yep. Okay. Good time to turn in and then wake up tomorrow and see what we've got. All right. Be safe.